Students, today with us we have Miss Iram Majid, and she is a professional mediator also, as well as she is also a director of the Indian Institution of Arbitration and Mediation. She is also the founder and the trustee of Shantimark Foundation, a renowned arbitrator and IMIS certified mediator trained at Harvard's program on mediation, has vast experience in his legal profession, having handled a wide range of the commercial, criminal, as well as the civil dispute through her career. She holds her LLM and also has received the training from California, a renowned arbitrator and mediator. She is a member of the arbitration firm across the world and is impelled as a mediator by several mediation societies. She has undergone training in several reputable institutions, including Harvard Law Schools, and is also an active academician. So we got lucky that in a very short request, he was ready to deliver his lecture, and he come forward that today we can talk only with the regard to the mediation, and in our next discussion she will deliver her lecture on the arbitration. She given her consent, so we are very thankful, ma'am, for this. And because of this ongoing crisis of the COVID-19 is going on, so it's also the we make sure that in next session, when the normalcy return, you come physically in our campus and you enlighten us. So I will also when the normalcy return. So this is all, ma'am. Now it's up to you. You can start.
Okay, thank you so much, JP sir. And after a vast, introduction, I feel sometimes embarrassed. It's a never-ending thing. So, am I audible? If anybody can confirm that, am I audible to you? In chat, or if the JP sir, if you can confirm me, am I audible?
If you can audible to the ma'am.
Okay, Shubham. Okay, Shubham. Thank you, Altaf.
Yes,
thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, see, earlier the schedule was that I have to discuss with you how to build your career. Thank you so much. Thank you. That how to build your career into mediation and arbitration in ADR. But in the morning, I had a discussion with your sir, JP sir, and we discussed that why not we start with the mediation. That see, how to build a career, that is something completely different topic. And in that, how you can excel into yourself into the ADR, that we will discuss in ongoing sessions. So today I said, why not we discuss about mediation? And since mediation is booming these days, and everybody wants to know about mediation. Since like many feel that it seems to be very casual and very easy, but I must tell you that it is not. It is not, because it requires so much of skills. And at your age, see, all the students at your age, if you are going to understand the concept of mediation, so it will be very helpful for you. See, for me, it took 10 years to understand the importance of this. And I would like to thanks to JP sir and your institute, your college, for arranging these kind of lectures, because see, during lockdowns, sometimes we feel that after our law college and all, what we will be doing and how we will start and all. So somehow these kind of lectures is very important for you from one lecture. If you will be able to have a one take, that will be really, really helpful for you. So as you see that these are my certifications, my Harvard, Pepperdine, and ADR, ODR, Dubai negotiation. But beside that, there is one certificate, what IMI certificate. That certificate is that is very important in the field of mediation, and I am the first female who got this certificate in India. And see, that's how I'm telling you that in India mediation is not very common. And see, since I am doing arbitration also and mediation is something very close to me, and it's very close to my heart, and I'm very passionate about it. It's my passion. And while chasing your passion, you never feel bored, or you never feel that it's as if something you are going, you are doing something which gives you a boring atmosphere or something like that. So, so before I start about this mediation, I must tell you that being a student, it's very important for you to understand the skills of mediation advocacy also. See what we are doing. We keep on making mediators. We keep on making arbitrators. But mediation or arbitration or entire ADR, it cannot be done unless there would be a good and trained and skilled team. So for mediation, we need, as we need the mediator, the same way we also need mediation lawyers. And for the students, they can do it well, very well. You could be a very good mediation lawyer. So even I'll discuss the observer sheets, few of the students, some few observer sheets I have gone through and some role play. I'm really spellbound. I'm really spellbound. The kind of role play I've seen, and you are playing really good job, really good job, and it's a good treat to see your move. And I must tell you, see, I'm doing it in the Delhi High Court for last 10 years, the mediation panel. Even then, I fail to see some of the lawyers or some of the mediators who can give this kind of opening statement, who can understand the underlying interest. So I really want to congratulate all of you to understand the concept well. So today I know that all of you know about the mediation, but today I'll tell you a little bit into detail that how you can, if you are going to present your session, or if tomorrow, if suppose maybe your college will be having as if we are having legal aid cell, maybe your college will be having mediation cell, and in that cell maybe some committee may form, and you can include into that, and you will be having a chance to see the live mediations. So you will be having an experience for that. So for that, I am here to tell you something about it. Why mediation is close to me? That is reason, because all the way of resolution of dispute, either it is litigation, either it is arbitration, it do not touch the people's issue. So mediation is something which try to resolve your dispute in your own style. You can resolve your dispute in your own style, and we can achieve a win-win situation. So win-win situation, every time we say win-win situation in everything and all, but why into mediation it is most? Because mediation is a way to resolve your dispute which support the people, and you have a control over the process, and you solve the problem accordingly. As I know that all of you understand mediation well, as I know that all you understand the mediation well, but just for the sake of for your listening, I'm showing you a definition that mediation is a process in which impartial third party assists disputant in finding a mutually acceptable solution in their conflict. It is both voluntary and confidential. So this is a generally accepted definition. If you ask anybody, they can say a neutral third person assist you in finding a resolution, or some person who is impartial or who is neutral. So these kind of definitions you can get, all are fine. But this is generally accepted definition which I am showing you on the screen. So if you come on the second slide, there I have break the definition for you, where I'll describe each and every aspect of this definition with my experiences in mediation, with the case laws which I have done. JP sir, can we come to the next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
No, before this. Yes, this one. Yes, this is the one. So here you can see, everyone can see the screen.
Everyone can see.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Altaf. Thank you, Mayank. So this is, I have break down the definition. Thank you, Shubham. Yeah, I have break down the definition of mediation for your better understanding, so that you can have an idea of what do you mean by voluntary, what do you mean party center, what do you mean by structure. So this is entirely, if you read it in one go, so it is a definition. See, mediation is a voluntary, party centered, structured negotiation process conducted by a neutral third party who uses specialized communication and negotiation techniques to assist parties in resolving their dispute. So as a whole, if you see, it is a definition. But if we break it, suppose I'm saying it, mediation is a voluntary process. So voluntary, how it is a voluntary? Mediation is a voluntary process in the sense that a party retains its right to decide for themselves. Suppose these days we are saying that there are so much of pendency in the court. So if I am a disputant and I am a user, so if I want to, I have a dispute, I will go to the mediation, not for the purpose that due to the pendency of the court. But why? Why I will go to the mediation? Because I want to resolve my dispute in my own style. I don't want it to adjudicate by another person. So that way I will go to the mediation center. So why? Because it's a voluntary process. Mediation is a voluntary process in the sense that the party retains its right to decide for themselves whether to settle this dispute in this term or whether I don't want to settle. It's up to you, completely up to the parties. And self-determination, it is very essential element. That suppose I am coming to this dispute, if I don't like it, I can exit anytime. You can exit any point of time. Unlike arbitration, suppose if you come into the arbitration, once you file your claim, after that you cannot exit. Even you want to get it back, even then you cannot get it back. Arbitrator has to file and has to publish an award into that. But into mediation, what is the best thing up to you? At any point of time, you can exit wherever you want. See, I don't want to go ahead, I can exit. So it's voluntarily, it's a completely voluntary process. Then party centered. How it is party centered? The central premise of mediation is that the party, not the mediator, not any other person or any entity. And it is only the focal point will be the parties. Suppose party wants to customize it in this way, party wants to have a hearing in this premise or this venue they want to select, this menu, even menu you can say, even the menu. So this menu we want. So everything has to be decided by the parties. Length of the session, suppose we want to have a 2-hour session, everything has to be decided by the party. So it is completely party centered. Third is structured. So if I am talking about structured, many times it happens that, see, those who don't practice mediation, this is that mediation is a very casual thing. You just need 2 chairs and 1 table and a single room and, and 1 mediator. So it doesn't much required for that. Even I can have my own office for the mediation. It's not very, yes, I understand that it's a very casual thing. It is, but it is a structure. It is completely well structured. Don't ever feel that if we don't have any law or the process settled there, so mediation could be done in any way. No, it is structured. It has a process. You have to abide by that process, and it has a framework. It has different stages, and if you will not able to understand the stages, then you will not be able to do mediation well. Because every stage we have, see, if suppose if I am doing mediation, for every stage I give a task and assign a task and I set a goal. And in this stage, I will completely, I'll do this. And before this, I will not leave that stage because my minimum goal in this stage, suppose in the opening statement, everybody know what is the opening statement. So my goal in the opening statement would be to create a repo. Until and unless my repo will not be created, I will not go ahead in my session. So it is very structured. If you will not follow the structure, then mediation settlement cannot happen. Even the process, and once party don't trust you, So it's not about they don't trust mediator. They will not trust mediation. They will not come ahead for any kind of dispute for the mediation side. So it is very structured. What is negotiation process? See, in every mediation, there is negotiation, but every negotiation is not a mediation. So what do you mean by negotiation? The negotiation is when we want somebody to agree on our terms. So in that way, there is a negotiation happening. And in negotiations, there is a communication which is established between the parties. So I'm discussing about the communication in the later part also. But during negotiation, when you use a specialized communication and you use a very structured method for doing negotiation, then you will come to know, you will see that different so many options will come before you. So many options, and sometimes the option that will completely that will be completely out of the box thinking. We are coming into this because these opportunities we are not getting into the court. If we talk about the court, the lawyers come and they follow the process and they follow the procedure, they follow the laws, and judge is bound to deliver the judgment on that. And even arbitration. In the arbitration, you cannot go beyond the claim. You have to decide everything within the claim. You cannot go beyond the claim. So there also you are bound. But here the negotiation process can go to any, and from this way to that way, you are free to go anywhere. And sometimes the kind of outcome which I have seen, this is completely, I'll discuss you in the component. So in the techniques which we use in mediation. Sorry, the previous slide. Yeah, and so the negotiation process that is committed by a neutral third party. You know, the neutral third party is a person who is not known to anyone. And if he is known to anyone, suppose two of my friends, they want me to appoint a mediator, and they both agree with that, and they give their consent, then they can appoint me. If they feel that I would be the best person to decide their dispute, so they can appoint me as a mediator. It's not like that if I am a third friend of them, so I cannot be appointed. But with the consent of both the parties, I can be appointed, even though they know me each other. But I should not have any interest in the outcome of the dispute. Suppose one of my friend is saying that I'll give this much of money if this will be happening, a commercial dispute. So I should not have an interest in the outcome. I should have an interest in resolving the dispute. That's why I could be appointed. And otherwise, it would be a completely third party. We are having different panels. Suppose Delhi High Court is having a panel, Delhi Mediation Center, different courts. They are maintaining a panel, and IIM, like Indian Institute of Arbitration and Mediation, they are also maintaining a panel. So on the panel, you will be getting a list where you can appoint a mediator as per your choice. And everybody is having domain knowledge these days. Suppose some people are from the maritime, some people are from the construction, some people are from the investment. So we are getting different kind of cases these days, and matrimonial dispute, we can understand the emotions very. So with this, the voluntary party-centered structure negotiation process conducted by a neutral third party who uses a specialized communication and negotiation technique. I told you with the negotiation and communication, because mediation is completely about the communication is the core of mediation. In mediation, with the communication, we can achieve, very creative options, very creative outcome just because of the communications. And when I trained in IIM, I gave a complete different course on this, different sessions on this, the skills in communication or effective communication, because communication is very important to assist the parties in resolving their disputes. So now I feel that nobody will going to forget the definition of mediation at least, because it is something which, if you close your eyes, even then you can tell that it's a voluntary, party-centered, structured negotiation process conducted by a neutral third party who use negotiation and communication skills to assess the this is a component of mediation. No, next one.
Please wait.
Hope I am clear and I am audible to you, because it's very difficult during webinars. You can see only yourself. Otherwise, in giving that in the class, it is very interactive in the class. It's completely different. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Alta. So the component of mediation, these are the things without understanding of this, you cannot process. So today what I am going to discuss, I am going to take stages also. This is the mediation component. After that, the stages. And the stages I am not going into the length, because it is 40 hours training and it takes 40 hours. When I am discussing about the stages, it takes 2 to 3 days completely only on discussing the stages. So in short, I tried to make a capsule thing for you to make you understand, giving a better understanding of the mediation. I hope I will be successful to that. So the component of mediation is the first one is the mediator. So mediator is the person who is someone whom party can trust. It should not be like, I do not know, and I cannot have a trust in that person. I'm not comfortable with, and even then I'm sitting with them. So see, there are so many kind of mediation I have seen in my life. Some are the people are emotionally charged, completely emotionally charged, and they don't want to open their problems in front of you. The kind of problem I have gone through, it was like mother have an allegation that the father molested the girl child. And in that case, see, it was very, very difficult for me to have parties into confidence, because unless the party will have confidence in you, they trust you, they will not open up. So the main thing is the mediator, and he should be impartial, and the person who is having compassion, the person who is having empathy, he should be a mediator. And if suppose you start a session, and while having your session, the party somebody is asking you, suppose you are starting your session and you said, "हाँ भी बताओ क्या हुआ?" See, it happens in the lower court. I have seen, and I have been complained about it, that मैडम हम तो वहाँ गए थे, और मैडम आपका तो mediation बहुत different है हाई कोर्ट में, हम वहाँ गए थे, वहाँ पे हमसे कहा हाँ जी बताओ क्या है. So if you start opening the statement with this, हाँ जी बताओ क्या है, so will the party will be having the kind of comfort or trust on the mediator? No. Even they don't know that where they are, because sometimes there are two kinds of mediation. One is court-annexed, another is private. Court-annexed are those mediations. Suppose the ongoing dispute in the court that is pending, and court asks you to go and resolve your dispute in the mediation. First of all, I really against those kind of mediations, because sometimes judges sitting there, they say, okay, go and resolve your dispute. Parties doesn't want to go. They don't want to resolve their dispute there. They want that हमारी तो इसे कहीं पे करो resolve. We want adjudication, but court says no go. So is that the voluntary thing? So voluntariness is not there. So how you can mediate those cases where the parties are not ready to go? Self-determination is not there. So many things. See, if I start talking about mediation, I become so passionate, and it will be like never-ending thing. So the person who is a mediator should be the person on whom I can trust. In that case, I was with you that there was a case of child molestation, and the allegation was on the father. So it was like something which I was even failed to show them that what kind of thing I should be for both of the parents. I should be neutral with both of the parents. I should be like equally this thing. I should be impartial. So sometimes even we are the mediator with all skill sets. Sometimes we also got how we can do it, how we will follow these things. Even then, so until unless the party will not be confident, trustworthy in you, they cannot appoint as a mediator. For you, you have to have impartial with the compassion and a person in whom you can trust. So second thing is environment. The environment should be the new private place. It should not be like any informal location, or it should not be like which is like suppose want to come to that place and party B knows they come to that place and deliberately they said no, come to that place. Just to create problem for that. So it should not be like that. So it should be conducive for both of the parties. Now come to the process. The process is confidential. As everybody knows, I have seen so many mediation sessions you have delivered. So you have discussed confidentially very well, very well. And I want to congratulate you that, am I audible to you? Am I audible to you? Thank you, Deepak.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. So,
Ma'am, you are audible. You can continue.
so even I really want to congratulate your faculties, your college, that they are giving you this kind of platform, because in mediation we don't have that kind of we don't have syllabus, we don't have that kind of course material with us. Even we have handful of trainings or experiences. So by doing these kind of moves and these kind of mock mediation, you will be gathering all the knowledge of mediation. So I am really happy to see doing much in the friendships, and there should be some ground rules, and there should be, well, it's a very simple process. It should not be like हम इसको इतना complicate कर देंगे कि parties जो है वो समझे कि हाँ भाई mediation में आए, it is not lesser than the court. It should not be like that. It should be very simple, and you explain the parties well. And the authority. So as you know, the authority is, who is authority? Mediator. Mediator is authority who is not a judge and who is not a legal advisor, who should be a person who facilitates the session. The communication. As I told you, the core of communication, the mediation is the core of communication. Communication is the core of mediation, sorry. And if it is 100%, 55% goes to the body language, 38% goes to your tone, and 7% is your word only. I am saying something with different tone, and my words is not aligned with my tone and my body language. So the entire communication fails. So in this, we felicitate the communication as well, and we have to check the body language of all the parties. And more than that, see, suppose in the court they are going. So who communicates? Your lawyer communicates. Parties never had a chance to communicate each other. So that mediation gives the chance to the parties to communicate. And for so many mediation, more than 200. So what I want to tell you that success of a mediation doesn't lie in settlement agreement. Success of a mediation lies. Success of a mediation that if you establish a communication between two parties, those maybe parties who are not being able, who don't want to see each other, and you establish a communication between them, that is also a success. If you are able to throw an offer on the table, that is also a success, because if throwing an offer on the table anchored somewhere there, and parties may leave, but they will come back. See, I'll discuss you one of my experience. I was doing one case, this cable connections people, their case. So there was some, they want to have some fixed channels, and for that they want some license fee. So it was the matter for the license fee, and that matter come before me, and it was this was T-series case. So after that, it was only a matter of 20,000 rupees. And just because 20,000 rupees, both the parties were completely adamant and they took a position. And there was a complete impasse on this situation. Both the parties don't any terms. And then one party offered and so an offer, and he said, okay, this much of amount of the license fee for the entire year. And into that, I will use your all the songs and all these things. Then another party says, no, I will not agree for this, because from the other distributors we are taking this much amount. We will not agree for this. Then I tried a lot, but suppose I told you that it's a party voluntary and as party don't want to agree, we cannot push them to agree, because agree to disagree is also a kind of settlement. And I said, okay, fine. Because I established the communication between them. It was not happening in the court. And they left. After 15 days, I got a call that those parties wants you to mediate the matter again. And I said, okay. Then, and they were coming up with clear in their mind that yes, the 20,000 money will not be done. And another party, both of them understood. And even now it's been done in 15,000. But 5,000 rupees has been deducted out of that. So both were agreeing on that. So sometimes what happens that once you completely adhere with the process, if you follow the specialized communication skills and you throw a offer on the table, if you throw an offer on the table, that offer anchored in the mind of the parties. When the parties leave the room or they left the room without solving the problem, even then they are having something in their hand or on which they keep on thinking, and they may come back. So mediation thing is not all the time that we give them options. It's up to them. So that can be done only through communication and solving problem, creative solving, and holistic solution. All these things in one of because in mediation we are coming out with holistic solutions, creative solving issues, and the problem solving, which will be long lasting. It is not a short term solution, it is a long term solution. Suppose if I entered into a dispute and I resolved dispute in my own style, there's minimum chances to go for the appeal. So in the litigation or the adversarial system, if I file a case, if I'll not win, definitely 100% I'll file an appeal. If an appeal is also decided in other person's favor, definitely I'll go for the another appeal. So it never ends, and one appeal takes almost 3 to 5 years, almost. This is what I am telling you, something which very limited time. Otherwise, the case which I am going to tell you is a dispute, which was a 50 years dispute. So sometimes we also handle the 50-year dispute which has been decided in one date. This is how the solution and the problem solving we have seen in the mediation. And there was a case where the person who died, his wife was his wife was also no more. He was only having one son. The son was staying abroad, and so here only one brother. And brother, what he did that when he died, the brother took the charges of the cremation and all the rites and rituals. So when brother did this all the rites and rituals, so as per the Hindu dharam, so the submerged of the asthya, so for ashes. For that, the person who has been taking charge of the last rites, he will be doing all this. But by the meantime, son also came, and son says that no, since he is my father. If I will not do this thing, then my father will not get the moksha. And there was a fight between the uncle and nephew, and they were not in the talking terms for last. I told you for last 50 years, they were not in the talking terms, and it was a lot of problem between both of them. And then after long deliberation, the matter they filed even the case, and the case came before us in the mediation center. And after a long deliberations, many sessions, both of them agreed to go together to the Haridwar for the submerging of the ashes, and they did it without talking to each other. They did not talk, and because there was so much of bitterness in the relationship, they went. While coming back from there, uncle said one thing only, that why, you see, my brother was very good, you are not like that, you are not like him. After that, the nephew started crying and he bursted into tears, and that was like, oh my god, it was so much of emotional outburst. And then after that the solution is not only we got a solution, but we also revive the relationship. So this is what the beauty of mediation. It revives the relationship also. So it is holistic solutions because it's a long-term solution. So this is what we are going to see in the mediations. Now come to the next extreme. Here I am going to tell you about the process, how it works. Yeah. So mediation process, see, this is for the students I have prepared because I don't want to give them a very into very deep this thing, because otherwise it's so much of it will create lots of this confusion for you. So if you understand the stages like this, otherwise the process and the stages, it will take lots of time. If I show you very lengthy slides and all, then you may get confused with that. So I'll tell you the simplest process so that you can use these processes in your competitions and in your online sessions. And what I suggest you that you should also make, suppose 3 of you can become a friend and you have 3 or 3 some like you can team up yourself and you can also record your sessions accordingly, and you can also have a problem, you can draft a problem, and you can make your own role plays and you can upload on the YouTube for the other students. And if you want any kind of help, I'm always available. And if you want my help in uploading your sessions or you're checking your opening statement and anything, so I'm always available for the students. And so these are the stages. So see, in the yes, Sumit, I'll share my number, and you can get my Facebook. I'm everywhere: LinkedIn, Facebook, or what Instagram, and my contact details are everything is given there. And I'll write down my number also in the end and my email address. So so see, I tell you that now these days I'm doing private mediations. So in private mediations, oh, Sumit, you joined just now. Okay. Better late than never. Welcome. So I tell you. So I told you about the mediation process, that there are 2 kinds of mediation. So suppose if it is coming directly from the court, so if it will be, we will be starting on the introduction or the opening statement. If the file will come to us, and what we will be doing, we will start with the opening statement here. And suppose if you will be getting the private mediation, where you have to start everything on your own. You have to listen the entire case from the very beginning, and that is a pre-litigation. No case has been filed in that. So for that, there will be a pre-conference or the pre-mediation stage, pre-mediation conference. So that is there. But so far, private mediation is not very common. I am doing mediation in my mediation center, Delhi, and even ICC Paris has given me some cases. So I am doing that. In that time, I am doing this pre-mediation conferences. So pre-mediation conferences generally happens for the private mediation or the institutionalized mediation, not in the court annex mediation. Court annex they will not even allow you to talk to the parties. They will not allow you to give the number with the parties for maintaining the confidentiality. That kind of confidentiality given. But according to me, that is not a good way of doing mediation, because the party should assist the mediator. Party, according to me, the mediator has to follow up for the post mediation. They should do that. And before the mediation also, pre-mediation conferences, because there you can make a rapport with the lawyers, because lawyers are the people who never allow you to handle your mediation session very smoothly. They keep on disturbing you. Even sometimes, so even in one of my cases, there was been the lawyers. I was shocked that party should fight. Why the lawyers are fighting? And the lawyers were fighting. And I saw that one lawyer was healthy and one lawyer was thin. So I thought to whom I should, interrupt or I should hold. So I started holding the person who was, when I was able to manage the session. So it happens. Then I come to know why it is happening, because there was a common interest. There was some underlying interest in the outcome of that dispute. One of the lawyers. So that was, he was being irritated. So it happens. So in pre-mediation sessions, you can have a chance to discuss the case with the lawyers. Generally, lawyers appear there, and then they will be very friendly and they will be very helpful to you. So that is not I have mentioned here, because generally for the students, you are not, when you are doing the mocks or when you are doing the mediation competitions you are going, you don't perform the pre-mediation conference. Generally, as a professional, we do that. So let us start with the introduction and opening statement. So in the opening statement, see, every stage, first of all, I told you that you give a task, assign a task, and set a goal. Suppose my objective in the opening statement should be that I should create a rapport with the parties, and parties should have a trust on me, the confidence, and then I will go ahead and I will make them understand the process well, and they should be comfortable. And then, what about the joint session? As much as information you can gather, you have to do that. Then single and separate session, where you break the joint session into the corpus. I know everybody knows about it, but today JP sir told me that there are few students from the second year. So for them, I'll explain it a little bit, but I do not know how much time I'm having. I may take more time, because once I start speaking on mediation, nobody can stop me.
For you can continue as you want.
Okay. So single session and separate session is and between these four stages, you have to use your all skills, your all techniques of commission, techniques of negotiation, how you can work upon your upon the emotions, how you can handle the emotions. You have to work hard on that. So suppose let's take now I'll start with the opening statement. So opening statement, what all the things we have, what is the purpose of the opening statement? The purpose of the opening statement is to build RTC, rapport, trust, and confidence. So you have to build the rapport with the parties. And see, do you know how much time it will take to create your first impression? How much time it will take? Suppose when I start my camera, and on my camera, I started talking with all the students. So how much time it took you to create an impression? 2-3 students can give answer. Yes, Sumit, I am practicing advocate. So how much time you need to take? 1 minute, Mayank. Okay. Any other person? Altaf? 5 minutes. Yes. So 4 to 5 minutes. You take 4 to 5 minutes to create an impression of another person. So in opening, yes, Lakshya, thank you so much. Exactly. In between 2 to 5 minutes, you can create an impression of another person. So one person, suppose the parties are entering into the room, the way you are receiving them, the way you are greeting them, the way you are talking to them, that creates an impression on the parties. But language doesn't match with their body language, so the party will never be comfortable with you. Sometimes you may have experience of this. Sometimes even without talking to many people, we feel uncomfortable with them, though they have not done anything wrong to us. They have not said anything wrong to us. Even then, we feel uncomfortable among the peer group, with the teachers, even teachers with the students, or with our family members, or even among our co-colleagues. Even nothing has been wrong done by them. And then we feel a little bit uncomfortable with them, because if we go into the deeper thing, then we come to know that our body language doesn't match with them. Somehow we both have different body language. If we are having different body language, so our mind will not comfortable. If then we find so much of excess not to be with you. So that's how the person take only 3 to 5 minutes, the parties, to create your impression. And if suppose at that time, so better it is said at that time, we welcome them and all, you should not speak that much. And once you welcome and make them understand the things, ask them water, and ask them whether this room is comfortable, chair is comfortable, so that you ask for the comfort thing first. And now these days we are doing is online. So online, now you must be seeing that everybody is asking, am I audible? Am I audible? It is not like that. Sometimes they may feel that, see, I was talking to JP sir, and I know that I was very much audible to you people also, because I was talking to JP sir, and JP sir is could listen to me. Even then I asked you, because see, now online I have no chance to create a rapport with you directly. So I can have a rapport like this. Am I audible to you? Asking these kind of questions, and are you comfortable here? So these are the things which you have to start with, and after that you ask the parties to give their introduction, or the client or the lawyer, sorry, the client and the lawyer, and to introduce yourself. So see, there are so many things in opening statement. Even I have seen your opening statement, and I have seen some observation sheets as well. I have seen your online this thing. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Awesome. You have done your best. And even see, when we are doing a mediation in the court, no one give the opening statement. No one. And it is very pathetic that sometimes parties say, ma'am, we don't know the, ma'am, उस room में mediation हो रहा था, हमको तो समझ ही नहीं आया कि mediator साहब क्या कह रहे थे, वो तो बोलते गए, हमको तो बोलने नहीं दे रहे थे. Then I said, he must be giving you opening statement, and he has not tell you at what he's doing. And sometimes they say, ma'am, हमारे जाते हैं तो पूछा, बताओ क्या करना है. See, these are the things. For that, opening statement is very important. So for the purpose of the student, for the purpose of giving the mocks or taking participate in mediation competition, so you should have a hierarchy in that. Always, there should be a hierarchy. ऐसा नहीं कि the moment the parties entered, you started telling them the ground rules. देखो phone मत use करना यहाँ पर आके. देखो बोलना नहीं एक दूसरे के उसमें. You cannot do that. Okay. So there should be a hierarchy. I think there is a question. Okay. Question is asked by Pratik Kumar. Is there any chances of biasness or corruption in mediation process?
Okay, ma'am, sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. My thing is that we can answer all these questions after the presentation, and so all the question we will answer in the very last.
Okay.
Continue.
So, as I was telling you, that students should follow a hierarchy in that. Why the hierarchy? Because the process of mediation is completely confidential, as you know, and the first stage opening statement, you have to be very careful and very craftful in while giving your opening statement, because in doing mediation competitions, 50 or to 60% yes, depend on your performance depend on your opening statement, because in between what happens that the entire session will be in the hand of counsel, client, and other counsel, other client, and mediator. But suppose if you are performing it and you are giving your opening statement, then the opening statement determines your personality, determines your understanding of the mediation. So you will be careful that in the beginning what you have to say, that you have to say, there is a hierarchy for that. So first of all, you have to ask them whether this language is, you are comfortable with this language. So you should, in any of the observation sheet, I think I have not seen that, whether you are comfortable with this language or in which language you want to start me with. So you have to start with that. And after that, you have to discuss the concept and the process of mediation. In the concept and process, you can discuss about, see, since it is a voluntary process, it is a self-determinative, confidentiality, and effectiveness, time bound. It is flexible process. Whatever the things you know about the process, you can discuss in that, and you can tell about the that it's the party-centered and impartiality and neutrality of the mediator, and narrative. And anytime you can exit. It is a voluntary process. You may exit anytime. So that's how you can discuss the concept and the process of mediation. And after that, you have to tell the stages of mediation. I think in 2 or 3 observation sheets, I have seen that students has come up with a very nice opening statement, and where they have mentioned that how the session, the flow of the session. Everybody did not follow that, how the session will be there, and what all the stages. Everybody discuss about the caucus, discuss about the session. See, joint session, importance of joint session is and that may happen in the joint, that may happen in the caucus. It is up to you. If you want to start the process in a separate section, we can start from the very beginning in the separate section. If you want to start the session jointly, we can do that. So it is up to, it is like you have to tell the stages, the joint session and then separate session, and then we resort to the truth. And you also tell about that when you have created an agenda, because many times in real life, it is very difficult to create an agenda because it's sessions. But once you are appearing for the competition and all, so for that, the moment the parties or the client and counsel, they are giving the opening statement, they should give their issues then and there only in the opening statement, because they have to advance their interest there. From their interest, they should mention the issue, and that issues after submission of the another party, mediator has to create an agenda in that session, in the joint session. Then they keep on having the breaks because of because we have to decide agendas one by one. So it is always good to create an agenda in the very beginning. Then role of the mediator. You have to tell in the opening statement about the role of the mediator, and then you have to discuss about the role of the advocate. And once you are discussing about the role of mediator, then you have to tell about the I'm a neutral third party. I'm not a judge sitting here. I'm not a legal counsel of any of you. You cannot ask me any legal help from here. Sometimes they ask, अगर ऐसा नहीं हुआ तो किस law में ऐसा होगा? You are not there to assist them as a legal counsel, and I'm the facilitator. So I only facilitate the sessions. You have to clear this very clearly to them. Many times the parties, they are coming for the very first time for the mediation. They don't know the process, and they thought that आप उनका फैसला ही करोगे. They take you as a judge. कि जी आप जो कर दोगे हम वही कर रहे हैं. Many times it happens. So that is there. Another thing is self-determination, effective cost, party voluntariness, flexible process. That also I will discuss you. And then you can set the ground rules in the last. The ground rules are because you have your authority to control the process. The ground rules would be that how many that the session would be this much time, and any party can take the caucus anytime, and the caucus and nobody can interrupt another party when another person will speak, and both of you should not speak at the same time, and you should not interrupt each other, respect each other, or put the mobile phone on the silent mode, or switch off the mobile phone. Person who can control the entire session, or the powers and all, everything you have to control. Not take about, so this is all about the opening statement. That is how you have to start the opening statement. Now let's discuss about the joint session. In joint session, you gather the information, you allow the party to vent out, you allow the party to speak as much as they can, because once they speak, then only you can understand their underlying interest. Because if they keep on hiding the things, if they are not open up with you, you will not be able to understand the underlying interest, and you will not be able to differentiate want from need. And you have to give an opportunity both of the parties to listen them and to understand their perspective, and then you understand the facts and issues, and after that you create an agenda, because when the parties come up, they are having a number of issues. So for a number of issues, you list all the issues and then you prioritize them. Once you prioritize them, it becomes an agenda. And there may be 2-3 agendas which can be given 1 number, 2-3 agendas which can be given 2 numbers. So it is up to you, with the concern of both the parties, how they want to take up the thing which is more important to them. You create that and you have a this thing for them. And the single and separate session. Since once we are talking about single and separate session, that is a caucus. The purpose of caucus is very important because there you share so much of confidentiality. Suppose if you start with the upper surface of the problem, then you have to go to the deeper structure from to here in the caucus. And caucus is very important when you suppose if the parties are come on the impasse or they are not coming up anywhere and they keep on fighting, because once they start talking, they be in the fight, flight and freezing mode because of our nervous system or our this thing. Once we are in the negotiation, so there is a thing amygdala which is responsible for all your responses, active responses. So suppose if you are sitting in the negotiation and parties started in the heat of arguments, then for 20 minutes the amygdala hijacked and they are not been able to understand anything, any responses. So either they will be in the fighting mode or they will be in the flight mode. या तो वो लड़ेंगे या फिर वो भाग जाएंगे. Or I have seen the person they come into the freezing mode also. They don't speak at all. They come into the freezing mode. So for that, what you have to do, that you have to take care of that once they are into the negotiation or they are into the joint session. Before they go into the fighting mode, before they go into the flight mode, or before they go into the freezing mode, it's the role of the mediator to separate them. आप उनको अलग कर दें. You ask them to go out, or if you have 2 rooms, you ask them to sit in 2 different rooms. So otherwise, the engagement, they will not come to the social engagement. Otherwise they will be either fight, I will do lots of problem for each other. It may happen. And sometimes in the joint session, once you listen, then your problem also you resolve the problem and you come up with a very, very nice solution. Very nice solution. See, one of the case I will discuss with you, that the wife and the husband, they were fighting each other, and the husband says, see, I don't want to stay with my wife and I want divorce. और उसको बस divorce ही चाहिए था. And he came to me that, ma'am, हमको सिर्फ divorce ही चाहिए. We don't want to stay. And the wife says, okay, if he wants divorce, I will give him, but not like that. I will give him, well, first he has to listen to me. इसने मुझको कितना pain दिया है. How much pain he has caused to me. He has listened to that. Then only I will leave him. So I said, okay, the case came and I said, okay, then to husband said, okay, until you make it, you just try to fake it. आप उसको सिर्फ सुन लो. Pretend that you are listening to her. Don't listen, but pretend that you are listening. Okay, why should I listen? Why should I be here? Why should I waste my time? Just because that be there. After that, you will be relieved forever from this relationship. He was very happy. That okay, then so it's very, very good for me. तो मैडम उसके बाद डिवोर्स हो जाएगा? सर हाँ हो जाएगा. ठीक है, तो मैडम आप मुझे ठीक है मैडम, कितनी देर बैठना होगा? सर 2 घंटे बैठना होगा. बेटा ठीक है, चलिए आ जाइए. Then both the parties came and we could see that the husband was pretending as if he is listening everything, and the wife keep on saying, तुमने ये किया, तुमने ये किया, तुमने ये किया. You could see after few minutes, almost 30 minutes or so, it became a serious affair. Husband keep on listening so intensely. It was so actively listening, and he was like, acha, 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 and he was surprised with his own listening. The wife was sharing all these things. Then he said, no, इसलिए नहीं है, तो इसलिए था. Then wife was also surprised. तुम्हारा ये था, वो ये चीज थी. So things were very much clear to each other, and they were talking, keep on talking. The lunchtime happens, then they said, ma'am, we are going outside and we will be having lunch and we will come back. And my work was nothing. Just sit there. It was nothing. I was silent, doing nothing. Just sit there and facilitating the options. And I was having coffee and chocolates. And after 2 o'clock, they did not come. Around evening, they keep coming. They were having both one having cigarette, and they said, we are not interested in having divorce. Why? He listened to everything and understood. And I also, once he listened, then we try to, we resolve the things. And we are not interested in divorce. So see, this is somehow in the joint sessions, when you allow the communication happen between the parties, so many things are cleared between the parties. And this is the beauty of mediation, that you are coming up with very very, holistic solutions or long-term or creative solutions. So, see, I will not take much time. I'll try to reduce it. Suppose it is, so I was discussing about the separate, now separate way mediator has to ask such kind of question which can challenge the dispute, which is lying. I told you that we are guided by subconscious mind, and all the dispute are datas. They are the datas of our previous acts, and disputes keep on piling. So they all are stored in subconscious mind, and it is nothing but our perception. Suppose if I am saying 9, another person is 6. This is a simple example. See, suppose if I'll be taking more sessions, then I can explain every stages in very deeper thing with all the cases, examples of the cases. See, the kind of questions, the kind of impact of that question upon the parties. Sometimes we ask that kind of question, the parties started crying because they are completely emotionally charged. They keep on crying. Many times it happens. And see, you can see that once they are coming up with those kind of things and we challenge their subconscious, they give options on their own. Parties give options on their own. So in single session and separate session, it is very, very important for you to ask confidential information from them. And to gather the confidential information, you have to ask open-ended questions. You have to ask hypothetical questions. You have to ask sometimes close-ended questions. It is up to the mediator, the kind of question he has drafted, the kind of questions you have prepared for them. So it is not like that you could be pushed away. You have to be very careful what you're asking. Sometimes I have seen, once we are giving this training program in IIM. So in that training, we are having this exercise, that impact of the questions, how to draft questions. So it's very much evident. I have seen many times that sometimes the parties are crying, even the participants, they are crying. And they says, ma'am, activated my negative emotions. His question activated my negative emotions. So we should be very careful that we should not activate the emotional negative aspect. If we activate the positive emotions, then we will be harvesting the positive emotions. If we will be activating the negative emotions with the parties, अरे तुमने ऐसा क्यों कर दिया? अगर if he is saying something, तुमको तो ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था. अब तुमको पता चलेगा. Something like that. So you are creating the negative this thing in their mind, and then you will harvest the negative emotions. So for that, you have to be very careful in the caucus. You have to be you have to handle them very carefully. And then there is a stage where you come with the options. And for the options, you cannot select any option just like that. That has to go for the reality testing. Because suppose if it is voidable, or if it is not as per the law of your land, or if it is something, suppose there was a case, in that case the father said, I'll give all the property now, lump sum, whatever the amount of lump sum I'm giving, after that my child will not be entitled for the inheritance in my property, because I'm giving lump sum to the mother and the child. So I was not satisfied with the outcome. Even the wife was ready and husband was also ready, but I was not satisfied. I said, no, it cannot be done, because it is not as per inheritance. You cannot exclude your son from this. Suppose tomorrow you will be marrying again and you will be having some other children and all. So the same way he is also getting for his property. He said, no, what I am giving him, that will be full and final. I will not give him. So when both the parties are agree for this kind of thing, you are the agent of reality. You have to be very careful that the outcome that should not be against law, because this is something which is against law. Then I said, okay, I am not ready for this. So I resigned. Immediately I resigned from that, because party was not agreeing to that. And somewhere outside, if they have settled the matter after the court, they would have done that center. But I did not agree for that, because it was not up for me. It was something. See, there are few occasions, suppose when I was biased in few matters, and a few matters where I feel that this is against law of the land. So I left that matter. I resigned from that matter, because I thought I should be very honest for that. and sometimes the kind of miracle happens in the mediation. See, I'll discuss one of my very important case. I saw the confidential this thing in your role play, the confidential problem. See, exactly same case, not exactly, but somehow the case came before me was that boy was the boy was a male and the girl was Muslim, and the female was non-Muslim, and they both work together. And in Lajpat Nagar, they are having an office in the Lajpat Nagar, and they work together, and they were a good business partner. And after that, they fall in love and they married. So they performed nikah, and the girl converted into Islamic religion, and they performed nikah. After that, 3 years of marriage, they had a baby boy, and then after a few days of the baby boy, the male child, the boy child, after that they converted into Hinduism. They all three. The three all they give the affidavit also that we will be now professing and propagating the Hindu religion. Then they all converted into Hinduism. After a few years, the husband, he says that I want I will not be a Hindu. Now I will be converted back to my Hindu religion, and he converted again back to a Hindu religion, Muslim religion. And but the wife and the child, they both were Hindu, and now they want to have a divorce, and it is a difficulty that before the court that how the divorce should happen, because they married as per the Muslim law, they performed nikah. Now they converted into Hindu religion. After that, one person converted into Islamic religion, and that case came before me. And see, that case, from this case, I learned too much. I learned a lot, because here I learned that you cannot negotiate on emotions. Because in this case, there were two aspects. One is they want a division of the business, and they want a relationship issue. So there were commercial issues as well as the relationship issues. So when it was the commercial issues, they said, okay, divided 50-50. 50-50%, they were very happy in that thing, 50-50 hum kar lete hain usko. But when it comes to the relationship issues, it was so difficult for me, so difficult to decide that. And so many sessions with the parties ke ab ye karte hain, ab ye karte hain. बहुत सारे sessions लगे, so much of sessions. So see, this case told me that you cannot negotiate on emotions, you cannot negotiate on dignity and values. You can negotiate very easily on the commercial aspect, very easily. The same case, same parties, same confidentials, but when it comes to the for the relationship, it's very difficult. When it comes to the commercial, it's very easy. So it happens. And in that case, the outcome was that the husband will be the Muslim, and the wife will be into Hindu religion. The child will be also into Hindu religion, but child surname would be the father's lineage. So they decided, and they somehow resolved this dispute. So that is what I was telling you, that it happens that in single and separate, so many types of confidentialities you come to know, so many things you come to know, and you have to decide the thing accordingly. And the kind of solutions we are getting in mediations, it is not possible in litigation. Never. Miracle happens. So then after that, we reduced the entire thing into the writing, and that is called the agreement. So in agreement, it should be very clear. Agreement should be settlement agreement. See, sometimes there could be settlement agreement, and where it is apology, only apology. Sometimes I have matters where brothers sisters are coming, and they are only giving an apology. And after that apology, you need not to write anything. So sometimes you need not to have a settlement agreement in case of apology. But sometimes it is very, very important. It should be signed by both the parties, and if their lawyers, and by the mediator. Without the signature of the mediator and the parties, settlement agreement would not have the validation. And it should have a date. And it should be very simple and crisp. and without any legal jargons, without any ambiguity, and it should contain 4 things: who, when, how. It should be there. Who will do what, when he will do. Suppose there's a permanent alimony has been fixed, and it has been written that alimony should be given, or the this maintenance should be given. Who will give what, means how much amount, and when, every month, first week, or whatever the mode. So everything should be there: who, when, how, and what. Who will do what, when, how, and in which mode. So everything should be written clearly, and all the responsibility of both the parties should be reduced into the writing, so that tomorrow they should not go back. Once they sign, many say that it is non-binding process. Process is non-binding, because entire process you can go anytime, you can leave anytime. But once you reduce into the writing, then there is no, you cannot go back. It is binding on you. And it could be, see, there are 2-3 ways. Suppose if you are writing it in a form of settlement agreement, that is also done. But generally what we are doing, if it is on the court mediation, court annex mediation, so once you are writing it in an agreement, settlement agreement, then it will go to the court, and the court will issue a decree upon that, or issue a judgment upon that, or dispose of the case. Suppose if it is not a court annex mediation, it comes to you before filing the case, or direct in the mediation, or in, suppose, in the center, private mediation. So in that case, we are doing it on the stamp paper, because as per section 30 of Arbitration Act, we can make, even in the award also, we can make a consent award, just the same way as the consent award, section 30-32, as if the provision is there. Under section 73 of Arbitration Act, we can make settlement award there. And settlement agreement should be as if we will take it as a conciliation award, and it should be in the same format. So it will have a same validity as we are having the validity of an award. Why? Because we don't have these, as of now, we don't have any law or any legislation on the mediation. That is the only thing which we are worrying about. And recently, Supreme Court has formed a committee, and where the president of IAM is also there. And we are working on the mediation legislation, and very soon we will be coming up for the Mediation Act as well. And as you know, all that we are having this Singapore Convention. Singapore Convention is very important, and it's signed on 7th of August 2019. And where all the commercial mediation, there will be a enforcement of settlement agreement within those countries where those are the signatories of that convention. So far, 52 countries has signed, and 3 countries have ratified. So slowly we are moving towards that, to get this mediation into a proper forum, or into a shape of legislation shape and all. And I always feel that I'm more connected towards the mediation more than arbitration, more than litigation. And the only problem which I am facing is that the lawyers who are entering into my sessions and lawyers who are attending my sessions, they are completely bound with their own old psychology, and they are programmed with the old psychology, and they are doing it into the adversarial way, and they are performing as if they are fighting in the court. They are doing like that. And mediation is a collaborative practice. As you all are into this in the some way attached with the mediation, somehow in the mock or in mediation competitions. So it is a collaborative practice, because we are sitting each other together. It's a table game. We are sitting each other together. It's not like we are sitting versus. We are on one side. The problem is on the other side. So in the mediation, we have to take care of this. But many times it happens that the lawyers which are coming, they're creating lots of problems, and they don't allow the parties to resolve the dispute. And I have to say so many times that please go out of the room. Though I don't want, because lawyers can be a best ally of the mediator. We can use them, but because they are not trained. So for the students, one of my suggestions for the students or for the faculties, that you can teach, or you can start using mediation advocacy skills for the students. That would be very beneficial for you if you start your career, because in the starting, it is very difficult for you to be a mediator, but mediation advocate and coach, and in different, even in so many general councils, they are trained into mediation advocacy skills. So you have to have, and see, I believe that the students would be the future, and they can change the entire scene. They can change the scene. They can change the mediation culture also. And we are trying hard to bring the mediation culture here, because mediation is a process which I told you deal with the be with the this with the advocacy skills and the mission advocacy skills. You can groom up yourself, and your faculty and all the people can skill you in the mediation advocacy skills, so that entire culture will be changed, because we have so many mediators, but we don't have trained lawyers into mediation. The new generation could be a good team for the mediation. So with this, I would like to end my session, and I hope it would be fruitful for you to understand the section well. And if you have any kind of questions, or you want my number, or you want to connect with me, because these are some advantages. And see, after seeing your performance and your observation sheets, I know that everybody knows about it. And see that I'm reading for your sake. Self-determination, you can communicate in this. Confidentiality, process is purely voluntary. Save time, save energy, save cost. Solutions are realistic. I told you my own examples of my cases. Focus on long-term interest. This is also I discussed. And restore broken relationship. This is I told you about the OG Vijayan case, where the father died, and the nephew and brother were having the issues. Creative options. I discussed this creative options. This feature in recent cases. In recent case where the husband and wife were in different faith. And measure of security with the written agreement. So once you write down the agreement, you reduce the terms of the writing, it will be create a kind of security for you. So that is why I am saying that I am the one who have a passion for mediation, because I know how it deals with the people issue and how it deals with the emotions. And I am taking the sessions for the handling the emotions into mediation. So I know that no other method can deal with the emotions. But mediation, you can deal with the emotions very well, and you can come out with the win-win situation and the out-of-box thinking. So all the best to you, and we will be having ongoing lecture, and we'll discuss on career in ADR. How can you build your career in ADR? See, I am practicing in Delhi High Court as a mediator. I am practicing in Delhi High Court as an arbitrator, and I am appointed 2 days ago arbitrator in Thailand Arbitration Center. And I am doing. I have been judge in the ICC Paris for last 3 years, and so that is how I'm involved into ADR practice. And thank you very much, JP sir, for inviting me for this.
Okay. Thank you to also, ma'am, and your suggestion. I think it will work, and it will also be beneficial for us. And very enlightening session was your, and we hope that in future we will also have some lecture. So in the second session, we will taking the question from the students, and please answer. So if any students have any question, please you can put in your message box through the question answer, and we will go through that. Ma'am will answer that, please.
Okay. So Altaf has asked me, can you suggest a good book? See, Altaf, good book on mediation is see, there are so many books. Like Mr. Panchu's book is there on mediation. You can go and you can refer that. But which I like most is getting to yes and getting to know. These are the 2 books written by Roger Fisher. So you can go with that books. Getting to yes. If I have no idea, otherwise I would have been with the book with me, so that I could have shown you. Thank you, Deepak. Hope you like the session. Thank you, Prakash. Thank you, Shubham. Any other question if you want to have?
Okay, if any of the students have the question, please you can ask through the question answer, and there are two questions there are on the screen, ma'am. We can take one by one.
Okay. Sumit has asked.
The first question is that, ma'am, how to be a mediator in the court?
You need, because now we have come up with a new rule in the mediation in the court annex, that you should be having 10 years of practice. But for the private mediation, you need not to have. Suppose, so first of all, for the mediation, coming into the mediation field as a profession, you have to do a mediation training. Suppose if you want to become an arbitrator and all, for that you don't require that much. But for the mediation, you need to have a mediation training program, because we need certain skills into the mediation. So for you need to do a mediation training program. First of all, that would be a 40 hours training. That is mandatory, 40 hours by the Supreme Court orders. So that has to be done by you, and you should choose a very good institution for that. See, I have done from IIAM, Indian Institute of Arbitration and Mediation, and after that I did it from the Harvard and Pepperdine University. So you have to do that, and for the court, you have to wait for 10 years. But after doing the training programs, you can do your own practice into the mediation, and you can start doing private mediation. That is what I am doing. But I was lucky enough to start my career into ADR very early, because when I was in the 3 years of practice, I got arbitration from the court and mediations from the court as well. So now I'm taking another question is anonymous. Okay. How can aid arbitrator and mediator? See, JP sir, I think we have organized a session for this start a career into mediation and arbitration in ADR.
Yeah, ma'am, we will have the second session and we will discuss on it on Monday, most probably.
Okay.
Okay. That other question is that, ma'am, what made you choose ADR as a career option over conventional options? This is a very interesting question, I think.
Ma'am, what made you choose? Yeah, this is okay. Okay, so see, I did not choose mediation. Mediation or ADR chooses me. I did not choose it. I was a hardcore litigation practitioner. I was having my chamber in Supreme Court and having my chamber in High Court. And I am government counsel for Delhi government and Delhi Jail Board, DSI, DC, Delhi Legal Aid Criminal Lawyer. And I was doing legal practice very hardly, but somehow the court and judges and the centers, they started giving me matters. And the moment I started mediation and arbitration, I feel that I'm touching the people's issue, and I feel that the resolution is coming in no time. So I was really very happy to see the outcome, and it's very easy, and also it has lots of money. In arbitration, you can make lots of money either side, if you are an arbitrator or if you are a lawyer. So both sides you can get a lot of money, and the act is also very simple. Act is also is not having so much of peculiarities and all. And the most important thing is it finishes in 1 year. So the I feel that way. There are 3 things also. I'm sharing with you, since I want the student should be into people. So your recognition will be very obvious and no time. So when I was into mediation and I doing all these trainings and all, so I got an opportunity to represent my sessions in Jakarta, in Paris, or in Bangladesh. I'm trainer in Bangladesh, Bhutan, and Morocco. So by that, I feel that I'm getting an international reputation also. And this is the field only where I can get an international exposure. Suppose if I do practice into the criminal side, so I have no opportunity to go and represent myself into the another country. But mediation gives me, or arbitration gives me, that platform to go and practice abroad. So that is how all these things, which when I weigh all these things, so arbitration and mediation is much better. And within 3-4 years, I got the kind of recognition which I never had in my career. And that is how I told you that I did not choose it. Other ADR chooses me.
Okay, one question in the chat box, that which is the best litigation or mediation, which had better scope?
Sorry?
One question in the chat box.
Which is the best litigation or the mediation, which had a better scope? See, Anubhav, I must tell you that the best profession or best option is for you, for which you have an urge, for which you have a passion. That will be best to you. I never say to any student that, okay, no, you go for the mediation, no, you go for the arbitration, no, you go for the. Sometimes you can do wonders in litigation, sometimes you can do wonder in the mediation. That is why I told you that the thing which you have passion. See, I am doing arbitration also, I am doing litigation also, I am doing criminal matters also, I am giving trainings also. I have a passion for training, giving trainings, and I have a passion to connect with the students, and I have passion for the mediation. So these three things only I opted because it gives me immense pleasure in my career. And see, you have to see yourself. You have to introspect and ask yourself, what is your passion? And I always tell my students, because I have connected with so many students across the world, like from the Hong Kong City University, from the Morocco, from the Paris, and from so many places. So even in India, so many groups I am included in with the students. So I always tell them that, see, whichever you feel that it is my passion, you should opt for that, because for that you will not feel burdensome. There will be no boredom, and you will chase your dream, and you will be having a time to stay with your dream. So mediation is something which is very close to me and my passion. So definitely I will not say that mediation is whichever is better, but without litigation, you cannot do mediation or arbitration. This is for sure. I will take this entire topic, that how litigation is important in ADR. I think, GP sir, on Monday, I think I have a session on career of ADR.
Ma'am, we will communicate, and I will communicate to this.
Yeah. So that will be there, because litigation, without litigation, you need all these things into mediation, because in the mediation, sometimes if you are negotiating a contract, or you are vetting a contract, or it is a commercial dispute, so you will be having but whichever is the practice which suits you, it's up to you. You have to take a call, because it should be close to your passion.
Okay. If anyone have any other question, please ask that before within 2 minutes, and then we have to complete this session. And we already took too much time of the ma'am, and this is a Ramjan month, and ma'am.
It seems that I have spoken so much. Everybody is tired.
And what I'm noticing, that ma'am is not drink that water also in that entire discussion. That was very thank. Okay, students are saying thank you, ma'am. And
thank you so much,
we will have
everyone, for listening to me.
Yes, ma'am. We will have
I'm writing my email
Monday also. So students, on Monday,
I would happy to.
One question is also that from ma'am, that do you suggest any good book on emotional intelligence, ma'am?
On which, sir?
Emotional intelligence. The question is
not audible to me.
Question is, do you suggest any good book on emotional intelligence?
Emotional intelligence.
Yes, ma'am. You can see on your screen. Question is there.
There is a Harvard. There is a Harvard books on this. If you give me a minute, I can bring those books and I can show you. Or we can show you when we will be attending the career oriented thing. See, there is a Harvard edition that is on the emotional intelligence. You can go for that book and see. I have done on the emotions with the from the Harvard. If you want, we can have a session on that, on the how to handle the emotions also, because that requires psychological technique.
Okay.
The emotions has to be very careful. You have to be very careful also, and I have customized a course on that also. So if you want, we can have a session on handling the emotions, and you can in the meanwhile you can have a Harvard collection books, emotional intelligence, that will be available on this Amazon. It is available on Amazon. And otherwise, I have done it from Harvard, so they have given me some material on that. So from that, I have gone through. Prakash, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thanks in advance. Oh, I'm so touched. See, I tell everybody wherever I go. So I'm connected with the students only. So I tell everyone that students are my strength. Seriously, because I know that everybody used to say me that अरे तुम ना future हो कल जब when I was young अरे तुम future हो. So I thought यार ये लोग सब future क्यों कहते हैं, हम कैसे future हो सकते हैं. But now I understand the power of students, and see, you are very powerful. Seriously, you are very powerful. आप लोग कुछ भी कर सकते हो. आप लोग एक अच्छा कल ला सकते हो. So try to do that. और that is why I say कि students मेरी हमेशा से मेरी सबसे best community है, मेरी favorite community है, and I can do anything for you. Whatever the things or best thing I could do, available. I am giving my email, and I can write my number also. So wherever any help, if you feel that I would be helpful for you, then I will be happy to be there. And
okay, ma'am. I'm sure that
okay.
students will contact you.
घर को थोड़ा सा late सर information मिला था आज. सुमित ने भी late join किया था.
Students will contact you for internship in your office. I'm sure. That.
Internship. One more thing I want to say, if you feel that you can do in arbitration and all. So earlier, I used to go to this arbitration center in Delhi High Court also, and some arbitration happening in my own center because I am running my own center, that is in Greater Kailash. So, but now due to lockdown, so these sessions are not happening. So what I am doing, that I am giving online internships. So in that, if you are interested, I can share my awards with you, and you can work upon that. Because few of the cases I have to file few cases in arbitration. So if you want, we can give online certificate also. And now online internship is happening in my center. So I am allowing the students to do online internships.
Okay, ma'am. I think the most of the questions you answered in very well manner, in a very good. Describe the mediation in a very detailed manner, like that we teachers have a very always academician have the ability to express, but you have the practical experience which we lack. We know that. And one suggestion you given that to the student that you should visit the mediation center. So as a part of the curriculum, as in our internal assessment, we send our students to the mediation center so they can observe the mediation proceedings and they submit the report to the us, so that they have the opportunity. So they visit the mediation center, and after that they can see what happened in the real-time proceedings there. So with the in Tis Hajari and in the Katkar Duma code that our students visit regularly in the mediation. This is a part of our curriculum also, so that they have the knowledge of the mediation center also, the mediation process also. Okay, my thing is that you also seen there are some video which was made by the online mediation demonstration. If you want to say about something for that anything.
See, I am really very happy the way you are putting ahead, and you are taking this concept ahead. And many students will be very, they will be it's very fruitful for them to have this kind of platform. That see what we are doing for the students. See, all the universities. They are only giving the platforms and all, but see, the teacher like faculty like you and mentor like me, we can assist them to make the extra toppings on their pizzas.
Yes, ma'am. We will incorporate your suggestions also. Ma'am, some mediator observer sheet was shared with you, and if any suggestion with regard to that, you can please share. Ma'am, some mediation observer sheets will shared with you. If you have any suggestion with regard to that, please feel free to say. Ma'am, am I audible? Okay, I think there is some connection issue. It happen in the virtual meetings. It's a very frequent, but we will try to contact. Actually, ma'am, connection. Oh, ma'am was getting on the screen. Okay.
Hello. I'm
Yes,
so sorry. I don't know some problem in the connection.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. So they're coming up with the opening statements. Yeah. The students coming up with the opening statements, the underlying interest and the issues they find out. It's really very good. And that's a really, really very good thing. But there is a suggestion for you, sir. There is a suggestion that, see, those are the sheets which I see. Those are the sheets from the mediator. So I think we need to have a sheets for the. Hello.
Ma'am, your voice was breaking. Please repeat that.
Sir, just a moment, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible to you, sir?
Yes.
Sir, because there is one suggestion for you after going through the observer sheets. See, those sheets were from the mediator's perspective. There should be one more sheet from the client and counsel's perspective. Atna and underlying interest and what the interest of other side, that has to be, we have to see from the party's perspective also. That is one suggestion, because mediation is I told you, it's a team work completely. And what the other parties, what we are, see, that is how, what we are trying to communicate with the students, the mediation advocacy skills as well. So once they will understand the underlying interest of other party also, once they understand their gain, they understand other parties' gain, then only they can come up to the mutual gain. So for them, they should be a one sheet for them also. That sheet contains your interest, my interest.
Okay, ma'am. We will incorporate your suggestions. We will also have this sheet from the parties, also the clients, also, that what is their observation, what they feel. We do in the negotiation this thing, and we will also incorporate in this mediation observer sheet also. Anything, ma'am, you want to add? Since any other thing which you want to? And many of the students are saying that really that, ma'am, thank you, ma'am. It was really informative and enlightening. Please share your contact